chairs or inspired. Maybe collaborate with some of these furniture design.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Where's the inspiration from? Like, where's the inspiration coming from?
literally, like, look at that chair behind us now. It's made out of clay. You know, it looks like a drought. That could be something that you could focus on. Maybe you didn't know that could be a chair, you know? So yeah, it's stuff like that.
So Ricky, as you mentioned that you are an urbanist, and that is to do with planning, and so how does Decorex involve like town planners or urbanists, as you may say?
Okay, cool. So usually there's some architectural studios that are showcasing stuff. So for example, I think there's one of the pavilions that are here, which is done by Veld Architects. So that's where they include more like urban design things, or sometimes during the talks. So that's one main thing.
Good afternoon. This is Venati Mona from KAAPcast Media. Currently, right here with
Vic Beltrame from Castellano.
Oh, okay. So, what is that? I don't even know. Can you tell me more about that?
Our company manufactures decorative trimmings, the tiebacks, the trimmings, the cushions, and soft furnishings for cushions, curtaining, upholstery, etc.
Okay. How are you finding it? Like right here at Decorex? Is it your first day or is it like your first time right here?
No, we've been in Decorex for a couple of years already, and we're here to connect with our customers locally in Cape Town and the greater part, and outlying areas as well.
Okay. How are you finding the experience so far right here today?
Lovely so far. Very good trade days today and yesterday, and yes, we'd like to push our brand going forward in the next few days.
Oh, okay. So, what word of advice to someone who's trying out anything that has to do with design, creative, whatsoever?
Well, if you have the will to come to a place like this to experience and also explore the market, this is the right way to do it. It's easier to then find customers and or explore your brand, push your brand out into the marketplace.
Oh, okay, so thank you so much. You made my day.
Thank you. Have a good day. Nice to meet you.
Junior, unjani futhi?
Ayaphila kunjani?
Sikuhle ngakuthi futhi. Kunokuqala futhi uyasixakela tell ngafuna ukuthi
Hayi ngeke bese sikwela ekuseni. It's been 4 days. Kumele sigese kuphela kusena ngo-8 5 ekuseni hayi.
Okay, futhi. Okay, can I please get not just for the audience's sake?
That's fine.
Okay, sure. You've been here for 4 days, as you've mentioned. How has the experience been like this?
So the experience lakusukela. So we've been here since Monday.
Yeah.
We build up. So any day sigcelaza usuku lokugcina sasebenza 24 hours from 8 to 8. And then wasafika lapho kulesine qala ishow. Ukhanselekile usuku lokuqala. But then ujwayela experience be right. But ke kufika abantu abawu-20 ucabanga ukuthi nabo abawu-20 wabo abanye bafika bathinta bazi kumele bethintene bazobulala futhi abo. But yona experience be right. Imfundiso okukhulu bese ukuthi ukudela kanjani abantu in terms of business into esihlangene nokudela nabantu kakhulu. So kuba ukuhlangana nabo ukadayisa i-idea in person nabo kube enye experience lapha Decorex.
Uthi, how do you know what Decorex? What do you think about in your explanations?
So i-Decorex indawo la ukwazi ukugetsha khona abantu ama-potential clients nokwazisana nabantu abaku-trade enisebenza kwi-field le enisebenza kuyona. So Decorex active iyona nto esiza ukuthi ni-connect nawo labo bantu and gaining more clients and more customers.
So would you say like it has been beneficial for you guys at RF to be here showcase with the greatest of the greats?
Yeah, it is. Because i-following isitholile the past 2 days. Crazy. Because abantu yabona umuntu adesikeni ibhakhodi befollow isentana yabona ukuthi hayi bayagage abantu. Plus we have to understand ngale. So uyabona ngale uyabona isinyakala yabo. So into kanjalo.
Okay, asabulela kodwa wami. Asa KAAPcast. Qhubekani ngephambili ukuthi siqhubeka sigqugquzela ababukeli emakhaya bathola kanjani RF?
So RF ungawuthola through uzosearch ukuthi RF Designs ku website, kuni website yethu Ngasela ku-Instagram ku-Renee4 Design. Kukhona ne-number lapha lethi ethi 082-558-6879. Athina umuntu esibabuza ngo-Renee4 Design.
Okay. For ababukeli abangakwazi mhlawumbe bakhaya xa uno-design RF ungathi like business enjani for ababukeli?
So RF business and design ama-interiors whether about residential, commercial, residential. So we've recently been in game for like 8 years now, and we're doing a company like December. So I've been in this company for 6 months now. Showcasing
Most of them appreciate you to show off this.
So at first we started with furniture that was more about saving space. We had an octagon-shaped table with a chair that moved in. And we scratched that because we actually just stylistically didn't like that at all. So we thought, let's try something that has maybe the shapes and lines and influences of mid-century modern furniture, which is long and rectangular lines and shapes. And the idea, it was such a process, a back and forth process. We started with a shelf, and the shelf, there was no modular at first. We just started with a shelf, and then there was like, okay, but from the shelf you can extract a small piece, and then if you take that small piece, you can make the rectangle of the original shelf into a square.
Daniel Ibrahim from HighEnd Interiors in Gumede.
Oh yeah? Can you tell us more about you, where you're coming from, and what do you do basically with this work you're doing?
So I'm a local company. I'm based in Port Island. I do a whole lot of interior design work. I do modern furniture. I like to look at my furniture as a niche market. I like to cater for the young people who have good style. A lot of my customers are more the younger crowd than the older crowd. I'm blessed to be at Decorex. It's my first time at Decorex. The response has been amazing. I'm glad to see how many people like my stuff. I also specialized in sprayed furniture, so we apply 2K, which is car paint, to all of our furniture. We do awesome things like purpose-built art. Like if you look at our wine rack that we have over here, it's a piece of art, but it's also a wine rack at the same time. But furthermore, we can build anything. I always tell all my customers, anything that you can envision or any picture you can show me, I'll make it come to life. And that's what we do.
What is Decorex doing for you basically as a business that has started out coming to Decorex for the first time? What Decorex has done for you? How do you feel about Decorex? And what word of advice for a person who is trying out and starting out a business?
Man, it's been an amazing experience, mainly being because like I came with the order form and I let people put their queries and their orders in, and those forms are all full. So I'm sure I'll have work for the next year or two from the show, and that's amazing. Just know that we're going to be boosting, bro. We're moving forward and we're going to be pushing hard. I'm obviously going to have to employ more youth, some young people to work for me so that we can further the business. And anybody else, youngsters, no matter what you're doing, whether you're doing furniture, whether you're doing art, like it's a platform to communicate with people. I've also met a lot of nice young folks like yourself, people who are helping, like we're pushing one another, you know, we're all doing this stuff together. So, man, it's amazing.
Thank you so much, man. I think that's all. My brother.
Thanks.
I wish you all the best on your business, and we wish you to take it further. We would like to have your artwork in our studio someday, somehow.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that. I wouldn't mind. We could collab. It would be nice if we could do your podcast around one of my pieces of art. It would be amazing.
Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you.
My brother, I see with the Department of Trade. Can you please tell us more about the Department of Trade and how has it helped you as a small business?
Man, look, first of all, if it wasn't for the DTIC and also Fintech, which is one of the other initiatives where I'm coming from, I would not be here. So give thanks, big shout out to Fintech, big shout out to DTIC for giving me the opportunity to come here. This is really going to help me a lot in the future, help me grow the company, help me grow the brand. And also shout out to you guys for giving me the opportunity to do this interview, because I know that this is going to help us push further, man. Thanks a lot.
Shout out, my bro. And so, could you please tell young or emerging small business owners how they can get involved with the DTIC and what are the processes to go about?
Man, if you guys want to get involved with the DTIC, I'd recommend that you send them an email first of all. If you don't get a response immediately, just try again until you get a response. I know they are out there to help young people, and all the best, man, all the best.
Okay, bro. So where can the people find you on the socials, bro?
And you can find me HighEnd Interiors and Woodwork. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. I also have a website, so I have a QR code. Maybe you guys can zoom into the QR code. It's over there on the desk, and whoever wants to check it out can check us out, and they'll find us on the net. We do place orders. We come out to people's houses. We do quotations. We offer 3D renderings. We really do the most to make our clients happy. A happy client and a happy business. You know how it is.
Shout out, my bro. From us at KAAPcast, we'd like to see you shine. Go higher, my bro.
Thanks a lot. Give thanks.
Shout out. Thanks, man.
Storytelling that you do with your brand. I think it's a very big part of your approach to this whole process. So explain a little bit.
All right, thank you. So just to give an idea, I began this journey when I went for an exchange program back in high school. I chose Germany because I had been doing my second additional language as German, and I was pretty good at it. So at the time, we went to Lüneburg, which is where my host family lived, and Hamburg. And I noticed how every 2 kilometers there was a cafe or there was a bakery. And the amount of detail and attention that some of these designers and chefs take, they were designing products just the same way an architect would approach a house. And you're buying a croissant for €1 and someone's staying 24 hours to make it. Or you're buying a biscuit and it looks like it's a wedding gift and it comes with a little note just to say hi or have a good day. And I compared that to where I was coming from in the South African landscape. There's not a lot of those experiences, given that design is what affects some of these challenges. We don't have a lot of bakeries. We don't have a lot of tuck shops that's focused on freshly made food. And you look at the value supply chain, lots of farmers are segregated or isolated from the table that we always say farm to table. It's very difficult to achieve that. So on top of being a South African in Lüneburg and Hamburg, people didn't understand what Pretoria meant and where we're from. So I used that opportunity to pursue food design, which was led by a lady called Francesca Zampolo, and a very dear and humble company that I love, Studio H by Hannah Rifasa and Jan. They were leading the food design at the time, and I wanted to bring a way to talk about Pretoria, which is where we're from, and use the jacaranda trees to use a product to communicate all of those things, the imagery, the packaging, the box. Die-line community will know MOQ minimum is 10,000. So if you're an SMME, how could you possibly design something that's intentional and also make sure that people learn about where you're from and also eat something that's high quality? I don't think the French culinary landscape should be the only one that leads gastronomy. So the idea is to try and create an environment where all of the designers here, all of the discerning customers that we serve, they require high quality. So how can you do that and still maintain a company structure but be creative enough to make money? So we use brownies, given that we're from the African continent. They know us very well for cocoa as a value supply chain supplier, but they don't know us for any products that have cocoa. The first challenge I had when I made the brownie was people thought it's a sugar snack, but not knowing that the Zulu Kingdom owns some of the biggest sugar reserves. There are people that make money off this and live off this. How could we possibly focus on one element in an ingredient or a recipe that has many ingredients? So I just wanted to bring back the passion and the pride that African continent has. We don't always need to think Calibri or Vacheron are the only companies that make the most beautiful items. Africa has the ingredients, it has the people, it has the discerning taste. And I think I just wanted to complement that by using food as a vessel to communicate some of these stories that we have from Pretoria, Tanzania to Nigeria. Everything has a story and it can be contextualized. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's how it began with food design.
I mean, how perfectly said.
Hi guys, thank you so much for sharing your story. My question is for Marco. I'm interested in the name Hungry Youth. Why the youth aspect? Because if you speak about the Pitori chicken, you don't think youth. So can you please just expand on that?
My name is Mutezo, and as you may know, at all boys schools you go by last name basis, so I was never Marco in high school, I was always new. I just took that and I carried that into the philosophy of what we do. I think, as you may know, luxury doesn't shout, it's very silent. So
I think the last thing that is appropriate to talk about, and it's something that's been carrying the theme of the future of living, is obviously the rise of AI. And what's interesting is we have a whole group of young people and no one has mentioned anything about a digital anything, you know. And it's interesting to see that it's kind of, we have this feeling of experience, you know, that is, you know, going people's hardships that is really in the not digital environment. Obviously, we all use AI for what we are doing, but what is your take in terms of, you know, do you guys use any AI in your business or those kinds of things? And what's your take on that as a young person?
I kind of hate the idea of AI. I think it's a bit soulless. I think if there's regulations and laws that help it along, and maybe it's a tool that we use, but other than that, it's just of my opinion. But only because I think creativity takes so much out of you, and like your ceramics wouldn't, like, it's you that's in there. And a painter puts their soul in there, and when you're making quilts and you're making a story and there's culture in the food, and it's just a brownie, but there's culture and history. So yeah, I don't know if I was the right person to answer that.
I think that's a good answer. Yeah. Want to answer that? Perfect. Please, yeah.
So just to openly say, the real reason I started the business was because I want a research facility. So with AI, if you noticed in the African continent, there's not a single space association or space station, and I think it's quite interesting. And if you look at NASA, most of the FDA approvals come from the trial and testing that they do for food in space. So I would personally use AI to develop unique ingredients and food products for African astronauts. And we will be heavily investing into technological innovation. And there is an organization we currently are hopefully going to be announcing at the next Decorex. They're based in Spain, and they're called Plant Institute. And Plant Institute is a zero lab farm, and they also produce products in the food industry. And they just had a show in Riyadh where they just announced an artificial intelligence exhibition about how food can be interacting with humans. So that's just my personal endeavor. Hopefully South Africa gets a space station soon. So yeah.
Sorry, can you please like look this side while you're taking it? You can also paint the picture, bro. Get your shower in. Yeah, it's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you very much, bro.
Thank you.
We're going to be a little town with creatives all pushing, shoulders able shining a light, the creative realm, Cape Town, South Africa, and beyond. Coming to you live from the biggest, the boldest, the most impactful Decorex design exhibition in the continent of South Africa. Of Africa. Damn, boy, we came, we conquered, we saw it all. From Reform Studios to everybody, we saw the mistake.
Let me take you through, man. Like, what I can say is that it's been an amazing experience from us, KAAPcast Media. Being part of the media people, it's been an amazing thing. We never thought we could do this, and we did it. And also what we've seen right here, the experience we've had, I think for me, I'm going to digest it later. Maybe probably 2 weeks.
Okay, that's it from KAAPcast. Creatives are all pushing, shining lights in the creative realm, Cape Town, South Africa, and beyond. Decorex, Alexa, South Africa, thank you for treating us nice. We love you. We out.